¿Dónde está? Alright, what's up, guys? I don't know why we're having such difficulties trying to get the sound work with the audio, but this is life. It's Chaotic Podcast. I'm your host, Chaotic One. Think we got the sound working better. And this is a variety podcast, and I have my co host, my lovely wife, to my right, who is going to join me in this episode. And we're going to be talking about random things. Main subject for this episode is addiction and the experiences we've had and some of the things that we would like to suggest, give recommendations, helpful tips, just experiences that we've had dealing with them, with other people in our lives. I forgot to transition the scene, my bad, guys. But yeah, other scenes, other things going on in our lives, their lives. I got a couple topics that I have jotted down from Jayden in his castle costume at the Grammys, all the way to Will Smith's new song, which is kind of interesting because it kind of correlates with the fact that Jayden is Will's son. But yeah, so when you look addiction up on Google, it'll see the fact of a condition of being addicted to a particular substance. I can't talk right there. Jeez, thing or activity. I find that interesting because it's like very to the point. There is no broad definition of what addiction is, but addiction can apply or go along with many things in life, not just drugs. You know, alcohol, tobacco, something that you like doing a lot. For example, some people are addicted to porn, you know, or doing certain activities. Hold on just a second, my dog's itching in the background. It's quite annoying. Okay. Try to get him involved in the episode maybe, but he's hiding in the background for some reason. What was I saying? Addiction. It can apply to different things in life that you like. And sometimes you gain habits to survive, get through certain things, and they help you get through it, but then you forget to drop those habits. And then they become a part of your character. But in the same instance, sometimes it takes an outside perspective or somebody that knows us before those type of scenarios or habits were picked up to say, hey, yo, you know, you've kind of changed. You never used to do this before. And sometimes it can cause us to be confrontational. You know, we don't want to hear that something that we've picked up to survive through a certain scenario or situation has changed us. But sometimes it does take a friend or a loved one from an outside perspective to be like, hey, yo, wake the F up. That's not cool. And especially with drugs. You know, there's certain habits, certain things that you can pick up on that a person will do. And not everybody does the same type of things. You know, some people are really good at hiding, at being on whatever it is that they do. From alcohol, from smoking cigarettes at a young age before they're allowed to. You know, I was smoking cigarettes at the age of 10. I had an older sister that came into the picture. She was 16 and I was 12. But prior to that, when I lived in Hurricane, Utah, I had a couple kids that had stole a cigarette from their mom, and I had tried it. And I only smoked like 2 puffs off of it at that time. But for some reason, I really liked it. You know, the head buzz, the getting lightheaded, the taste, how it makes you feel. What age did you start smoking cigarettes?
I have no idea.
You don't? Well, while she's thinking about
13,
that.
13, I think.
13? What made you want to smoke? Thought it was
Everyone
cool.
else was.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool thing to do. You know, I had a stepbrother also because my parents broke up, and then when my stepmom came into the picture, she had my stepsister and my stepbrother, which were older. They both smoked and did, you know, smoked weed, drank. Man, my older brother would do so many things to try to mess with me, to try to get me to not do stuff. And he wasn't necessarily in the right mind, best state of life at the time of which I met him, to the point to where, like, we would go into the garage, you know, because my dad would always be out and about, so we would sneak and go into the garage and drink. One time we were playing chicken with cigarettes, and I don't know why, but I was just like, hey, I'll hold it on your hand, you hold it on mine, and I still had the scar, and it's dumb stuff like that. Like, he made a pipe bomb from fireworks one freaking 4th of July, made all the alarms in the neighborhood go off. And it's just like, these are my older, this is my older brother, stepbrother, but at the same time, he's supposed to be teaching me what to do and not to do, and I really didn't have the best influences when it came to that. My other older sister, my actual sister that came into the picture when she was 16, like I was talking about, she was in so much shit. Gangs, drugs, prostitution. But yeah, we won't get into that right now. Maybe we will later. I don't know. Anyways, first subject, like I was talking about. This is a Life is Chaotic podcast. Life is Chaotic. Turn up the music. Be sure to check out the links in the description. Like, share the podcast. It really helps with the algorithm. I have links in the description. A new site that I'm trying out, working with, Fourth Wall. You can go and check out the new merch I got on there. I put up one shirt so far. And it's just because I'm not using Streamlabs to multi-stream anymore. So the website that I have on there it's not working anymore because I don't have the subscription. And so when you don't pay the subscription, it automatically makes the website go down. And so I'm trying to bring up the website for y'all real quick. Just a tick. Let me switch the scene to that screen. Oh, site can't be reached right now. Why? Oh, I see why. Okay. Here we go. Alright. This is the website. It's the one shirt we got right now. $19.99. Life is Chaotic logo with the emoji you can use on Twitch. It's the first one I put up. I'm going to put more stuff up, of course. I got a lot of logos and things that I can do. But alright. This first subject topic segment. Jayden Smith and Cass. What? I'm trying to understand what is he trying to represent with this? I just don't.
I don't have words.
I want to see what Google says. Like the interpretation of what it's supposed to mean.
Mostly normal.
Alright, let's see what it says. Can you look up on ChatGPT or Gemini what it says it thinks it means? So, Jayden Smith wearing the Vampire Castle headpiece by artist Abodi. The headpiece pays homage to ancient noble Transylvania family dating back to the 16th century. Prince Istvan Bathory. Now see, that's when you start getting into like supposedly when vampires or where they came from, Transylvania, and Vlad, I think his name was the very first vampire supposedly. That's what is going on with this? That's a little What does Gemini say?
Says Jayden Smith's choice to wear a house-shaped headpiece at the Grammy Awards appears to have been a bold fashion statement. It was consistent with his history of experimenting with unconventional, eye-catching attire. Smith has a reputation for pushing boundaries with fashion choices. The house on his head, described as Vampire Castle headpiece by Bodie, was an artistic choice that aligns with his style of making memorable and discussion-provoking appearances.
See, vampire. See? That, That's quite interesting. 'Cause I don't know if you guys have gone into the whole Pied Piper story, but like the whole original, I think it was a poem from like the 1600s, is about the dude luring kids to this like portal up in the mountains, and that portal goes to Transylvania, and it's like supposedly how vampires were started. I don't. Correlation. I just. Anyways, we're gonna go on to the next subject because I don't even know why. Why is he doing that? What does he have to do with vampires or a Bodhi? What does a Bodhi have to do with vampires? Can you look that up? Or where is a Bodhi? A Bodhi. I'm just gonna look up a Bodhi real quick. I've never even heard of Bodhi. Clothing.
Okay, now I need to get. Abodi is a fashion house founded by Dora Abodi, who is from Transylvania, Romania. This region is well known for its association with vampire legends, particularly the legend of Dracula. Dora Abodi incorporates elements of Transylvania history and folklore into her designs, including the mystic and allure of vampire legends. The vampire castle headpiece she created for Jayden Smith is a prime example of this, as it draws from the region's Gothic architecture and tales of vampires. So while Adobe doesn't necessarily have a direct connection to real vampires, the brand embraces the mythology and imaginary imagery associated with vampires, particularly those originating from Transylvania.
What is going on, guys? Why is vampire stuff cool now and becoming a thing? I don't know. We're not live on Facebook for some reason. I tried to get it to start, but it's not starting. Anyway, okay. That's quite interesting find there. And some pointless information for y'all to store up there in the mind, but okay.
Hi.
Yeah, along with that, I don't know if you guys knew, I'm in line for a castle. Maybe I should walk around with a castle on my head.
They don't want to hear you breathing into the mic.
We could start a new trend, guys. Start it called castle heads. Be like cone heads except with castles. You gonna get on the mic, sir? Yeah. Okay. This is our dog named V. You can see his tail. Can't. Here, bring it down real quick.
Come here. Back here.
No, they can see him now.
Look over at Dad.
Anyways, okay.
What? Hi, I'm V.
Hi, I'm V. Yeah, we talk for our dog sometimes. We're silly.
Hi. Hi.
Next topic. I'm in line for a castle. I'm like 104th or something. But my great grandma's last name is Kerr, Kerr. And there is a castle in Scotland. And oh my Buddha, it is gorgeous. I want to visit it one day, let alone like if I was to inherit it, I don't know what I'd do. I mean, the taxes alone probably outrageous. But for like castles that are still in existence nowadays, you don't find too many. This one it's up there as like nice. But yeah, okay. So another thing to do with the Grammys, a dude that I watch stream, he's pretty big, everybody knows about him. I really like him because of his character. From over the years when I've watched him, to see him grow as much as he has, to see him go to the Grammys as a streamer is insane. I thought it was pretty dope to watch his live stream talking about everything that happened. I guess Jayden, again, correlations with the castle head is the reasoning why he was allowed to go into the Grammys and not have to stay outside where security wouldn't let him. And so he got to chop it up with like Billy and tried to talk to Taylor and just a bunch of crazy stuff. It was pretty cool to watch. I don't know if you guys know about him, have checked him out. He's a really cool dude. He inspires positivity. There's a lot of goofy stuff that he does that it just. Anyways, I won't watch that, but there's a lot of clips that people will make of his content that show him doing a lot of cool stuff with the people around him, the people that he interacts with in his live streams, and it's pretty dope. So, as a content creator and somebody that's getting pretty big, as from being a streamer, starting with only like 10 people watching him, I think it was, to now he's got hundreds of thousands of people watching him every episode. I think he did an interview at the White House with Kamala, or it was in line to, something like that. It's pretty dope. I'm not either side when it comes to politics. I'm pro-American. But anything that introduces politics to the youth in a different spectrum medium rather than just the news, I feel like is a lot better and doing good to our society. I feel like it causes people to not take it serious, and a lot of people who are old school, stuck in the old traditional ways of this is how it is, this is how it used to be, this is how the way it should be, don't want to evolve with technology, let alone how social media is going. And it's like Trump going on, JRE. That was a huge impact, and it's only positive. Now the negative aspect is it, like, you could say something that makes your audience or people not like you, or your voters, look at you differently. But I feel like it brings the more real person out of the politician. Trump's pretty good at that overall, over the years, being able to fly off the whim. And so I probably feel like Kamala didn't want to do that because of that. But Rogan was also willing to go only off of her talk points and not mention certain stuff. He was willing to do it whenever she wanted to do it. And then she wanted to say after the fact that they made it hard, that he was an asshole, basically, that his team didn't want to work with her team, that they went and checked out the stream area, his where he does his live stream, but they never went. Like, a bunch of lies after the fact. And it's not like we can't fact check everybody nowadays, and it's insane how much people try to get away with lying when you can't now. Like, everything can be fact checked on the spot with ChatGPT, Gemini, all these artificial intelligences. But not only that, just Google in itself. It takes a little time sometimes to find multiple sources, multiple credible websites, and not just these political blogs or political websites that are sponsored, funded by a certain side, one, or bias. But you can do it, and you can find out anything if you're willing to. And a lot of people aren't, and they know that. And so a lot of people just lie on the spot because a lot of people aren't willing to take the time to second check them. But usually when you do, it's total opposite of what they're saying, and it's quite interesting. All right, next topic. Kanye West and his wife. The situation is...
You said that he started whining.
quite interesting. What she was wearing, a lot of it's blurred out, of course. Censorship. Don't want to be showing little kids, younger youth out there.
Yeah, but it was all on Grammy.
That is all over Grammy. Yeah, the Grammy Awards. They
can't picture it though. You better have been watching it live.
Right. It's like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl. Whoopsies. You don't remember that? When she had a dress wardrobe malfunction and she ended up flashing everybody? Because Justin Timberlake ripped her dress off. It was supposed to happen, but not that way. And yeah, It was a big old scandal. Wow, you're stuck under a rock over there. I'm sorry. Just try looking that up, maybe. That's really old. Holy shnikes. Anyways, what is her name? Kanye's wife. I don't even know. Do you? Kanye's wife
Bianca or something like that.
showed up to the Grammys in like a big ass fur coat, and then I guess he instructed her to make a scene. She turns around, takes the coat off, and she essentially has what looks like spandex or latex that you can see everything. Like, wow. And why? Makes no sense to me why you would go to a nice professional where all these stars and top echelon people of the United States are, and then want to just, hey, look at me, like when everybody is already looking at you because you're there. Like, to have or want to do that. They're saying that he had a lot of what is it, influence, suggestive matter upon what she wore. That's like what I put out though, is like, if she didn't want to wear it, she wouldn't have wore it though. It's like, if I told her to wear that and she didn't want to wear it, would you?
No, but certain women are brainwashed in relationships.
But that's just a negative relationship in itself though. It's not because of a scenario. That's just because the whole relationship should be looked at and they probably shouldn't be together. But if you're in a positive relationship where both sides matter and you talk to each other like we do, and I was to suggest you wear that and you didn't want to, would you? Even how famous I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, babe. It'd get me a lot of views and it'd make you people buy my album. I need you to do this. Would you? No. Right. So, I don't know. It's quite interesting. Another thing going on right now, I found really, really interesting with the whole mass deportations and Trump cracking down on deportating illegals, essentially. Jayden 15 is getting brought up again. And back in 2015, 2014, I was pretty big into talking to a lot of people, including this guy right here, Dabu77, which is a streamer, YouTuber, conspiracy theorist that looks into all this stuff. And he's talking about how Jayden 15 was essentially the exercise or the practice for what's going on right now, 10 years later, essentially. And if you think about what was happening during 2015, Jayden 15, essentially it was where they went into towns and cities, mass mobilized troop convoys, water trucks, tanks, deuce and a halves, all the military trucks. They would go into a town and they would set it up like they were doing a mock military taking over the town, martial law. And anytime anybody asked what was going on, they said they had the authority, but they didn't. And to be able to do that, military or the state has to declare a national emergency. But there was no national emergency at that time. And so you had a lot of people bringing attention to this, but it was being really, really downplayed by the news and media to chalk up to being conspiracy theorist type shit. But you would see mass trains just miles long of just water trucks and tanks and Humvees and deuce and a halves going somewhere. Just all the time. It was like every other day there were all these videos and images of just mass drills going on, and nobody understood like why and what is going on, and there was really no explanation. But there was a point where the governor, or I think it was the governor of Texas, like, put the Texas National Guard on standby. Oh boy, what the hell was that? Standby to watch the other military that were coming in, and like wouldn't allow them to do the drills and doing what they were doing. And I'm trying to remember, is it Texas governor? Yeah, see? Governor Abbott directs Texas State Guard to monitor Operation Jayden 15. And see, a lot of people will chalk this up to just being conspiracy theory. Like, it never really actually happened. That was just a bunch of paranoid conspiracy theorists trying to bring up attention to something that really the military was just doing what they do. I don't know. You know, is that what they were doing? They were practicing for now, but it seems a little long, 10-year gap for them to have been practicing it back then for it to be for what's going on now. Maybe it was like they had speculation or ideas that something was going to happen at that time to where they wanted to be able to mobilize troops in a fast fashion. But I don't know if it was per se for this, you know. And I mean, we can listen to what Dabu says real quick, but I don't know if my audio is gonna work. So you can go check that video out. I'll put it in the description. Anyways, next topic. Something interesting I found, and trying to figure out what's gonna happen. Trump has put in an executive order to pretty much demolish the Department of Education. And as a college student currently going for my bachelor's, and my wife is also, we're trying to figure out like what's going to happen with our student loans as far as getting them, if anything is going to be or happen that causes like an impediment or delayment, and we're really hoping not. You know, if anybody out there has information, has a better idea, is in the know, maybe in the system of what is going to happen, how they're going to structure the system, where the loans are going to go, it'd be nice to know. But at the same time, I'm sure over the next couple years we're going to find out. You know, what I've heard is they're going to break it up and spread it into different sectors of the government that already exist. And so like the financial department will go over here, the funding, it's just different sections of what criteria the Department of Education made it up will be just spread out over the other administrations. Quite interesting. A long time people have, you know, talked about how much educational system is making just billions of dollars off the American people and putting us into debt to get an education for a degree or a diploma that really you can go take trade classes and take tech classes or vocational school classes that are directed more so towards your criteria, your career, than what happens in college or in your education. What are you laughing about in the background that is distracting me while I'm talking? Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Please don't share it with the class.
Neuter your ex. Have an ex that shouldn't reproduce. Feeling vengeful this Valentine's Day. For a $15 donation, we'll name a feral cat after your ex, then spay or neuter them and release them through a trap neuter return program to stop the breeding cycle. Give your ex a proper send-off, heal your heart, and help control the community cat population at the same time.
Anywho, our next topic. I saw this really cool video on my Facebook feed. I think it was. Or no, it was Instagram. Where this guy was talking about how to help nervousness when you're going to perform on stage as anything, as a speaker, as an artist. And he said best thing to do, because you build up adrenaline essentially, and that's what's causing you to shake, your body shake when you're nervous and your voice gets trembly. Best thing to do is push-ups, sit-ups, go run real quick, get your breathing better, higher, so that you're taking deep breaths. And I guess when you do that, it will cause you to not be as nervous, not shake when you are performing, doing what you were doing. I thought that was pretty awesome. That was a dope video. We need more stuff like that to help artists, content creators, speakers out there, because it is crazy being in front of multiple people and having all their eyes on you as a performer, musician myself. And that's something that I had to fight with, battle, get over. Still sometimes messes with me. And I gotta slap myself out of it. I don't know. With me personally, it's just hoping that I do the best. And when I don't do the best, I know it doesn't look good. But in the same instance, I've learned over the years that if I'm up there and I'm doing it, I'm already winning. Because a lot of people aren't able, capable, aren't willing to do that. And if you push yourself and work on your music, speaking, poetry, comedy, whatever it is that you do to get up there and perform, it just becomes second nature to do it in front of people. And a lot of what has helped me is having my own studio at home, to where when I record, when the people are around me, it just doesn't matter. And a lot of times I sound like a dying cat, my wife will say, when I'm trying to sing or I'm trying to do a certain song and just my voice isn't there because I'm not awake enough, or I haven't drank enough water, or whatever it is. I'm trying to get a song down and I just can't get the lyrics correctly, and I got to do the same verse 50 times before I get it just the correct way that I want it down. It takes practice, and the best way to do that is to just do it. And a lot of what limited myself and what kept me from doing music, let alone trying to actually distribute and perform, was just thinking, I want to do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm going to anyways, find something else to do, and just kept pushing it off, to where one day I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. If people laugh at me, if people make fun of me, if people don't want to support me, that's on them, and I don't need them, but if they do, and they see what I love, they gain the feeling that I do with the whatever I'm doing, then it's just dope. It's awesome, and that's what makes me want to do it even more. So, as I was saying, the main topic or discussion of this podcast is addiction, and I want to ask you, ma'am, beautiful square over there, what got you into wanting to do drugs?
Being abused and sexually abused as a kid.
Was there something that happened, like you saw somebody do them, and so you were like, oh, I want to do that? Or was it like you got prescribed?
I was prescribed Adderall.
Adderall?
And then when I had surgery to remove a bone from my ankle, I got prescribed heavy painkillers, and off I went.
Pretty much same scenario with me. I had bad teeth as a kid, and I would always have tooth pain. But then when I was in football, and then my surgery, I had chest surgery when I was a kid because my chest was uneven. I was just born, I forget what they call it, it's like pectoral itis or something. I was always subconscious about not taking off my shirt when I went swimming, and I just didn't have really any confidence in myself. And so my parents put me in to have a corrective surgery. And when I went into that surgery, they gave me morphine and penicillin. And I'm allergic to penicillin, like highly. Like, I flared up like a balloon. Instead of only being out for 8 hours, I was out for, I think it was 4 days. My heart stopped for 45 seconds. I went into a mini coma. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But after that, it was just like that feeling of how the morphine made me feel. I loved it. I just always sought that feeling in smoking Black and Milds, which is what I initially started smoking. But it, like, when I first started smoking cigarettes and weed, like, it was once in a while, like maybe on the weekends, but like during football season I wouldn't smoke because it would limit my lung capacity and it would cause me to not be able to play as good. So I would purposely not do it during the season and not hang out with the certain friends that I, normally would smoke with. Did you have friends at school that smoked, did stuff, drugs?
Yeah, I hung out with older people.
Older people? Yeah, same here. Like, I didn't like hanging out with kids my age. I don't know if that was because, like, in football, I was always, like, freshman year, I was already messing with varsity. I had already known them. There was a point in time where my varsity coach had came over to our Pop Warner team and, like, helped our team get better to win the championship. So all those players that were on that team, I knew them because of that. And so after school, I would hang out with them. They would come, car clubs. I won't mention which car club. They don't like when I do for some reason, even though we're here, what was that, 2006? So almost 20 years ago. But hey, I'm going to respect them, and we won't go there with that. But yeah, it was pretty cool, but at the same time, influenced me to want to be like them, do what they were doing. And so whenever off season was, hanging out after school with my friends, we would smoke cigarettes, we would go and drink, we would get like smeared off ices, the white one, I forget what flavor it is, but it's super good, and oh my god, it gets you buzzed quick, and just do stupid shit. But I was always like smart to get out of stuff for the most part. What's the most crazy situation you can remember you got in while being on drugs or trying to get them?
I do not remember.
No chaotic situations?
Probably, but I don't remember.
I can remember one time, because I was at a point where I just like wanted to try anything and everything. This was like a little after I got out the army. It was like 2019. No, 2009. My bad. Sorry. My friend had Seracools. I guess she took them, and I took a half of one. And oh my Buddha, like that shit just put me into a trance to where I like felt like I was robo tripping slow motion. I guess I ended up talking to the cops, like got pulled over and ended up convincing them that I wasn't on anything, got out of it. I don't remember that. And we end up going back because we were staying in a hotel at that time, because I don't remember what, but I think it was like transitional housing or something my friend was in, and I was staying with her. And so we went back to the apartment, and I ended up falling asleep for like 3 days. Like, I was so hungry when I woke up, but I don't remember anything. And that is the only time I've ever like really blacked out and don't remember anything, besides when I took Jaeger bombs and took like 12 of them. We were playing King's Cup. And yeah, that was straight. That was crazy. I don't like Jaeger because of that. Never drank it ever since. Do you like Jaeger? No. No crazy stories?
Not that I can remember, no.
Not even getting pulled over on the trip that you went on and why you...
I mean, yeah, if we really want to talk about that, put it out there, sure. But that's just too crazy.
Okay. I mean, she wants to stay limited, I guess. We do have certain individuals out there that like to use anything and everything negatively that we've done in our lives to try to cast a shadow and use it to manipulate certain situations, but it is neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, actually, I can say it was this one time. I was like 17 with a bunch of friends waiting on this guy. And then he showed up. He was like, oh, I have to take the money and then go get your pills. He tried to not return, but we knew where he was going, so we followed him. And then he saw we were following him, so he took us in circles. So that way we couldn't get our money back or get the pills. And then someone finally got into the car and then just hit his car. And we got our money back and our pill. We took the pills that he had. We wrecked his car and took our shit back.
You ever been, like, gypped or robbed for money? Like,
No.
Like, give people money for drugs and then not get the drugs?
No.
I've had a couple of times, like...
I would never, unless if you have the drugs in your hand ready to hand it to me when I hand you your money, or you, nothing, no, oh, I got run inside, nope, I can't deal with you then.
I had a couple, like, one in high school.
I don't trust people like
First time I had ever, like, bought a big amount, and dude just, like, never came back. And he was huge, a big old football player.
Well, I would just go after people you try to take
Yeah,
somebody.
so I didn't really want to do anything about it. And it's like a lot of situations where it was like, let it get the best of me, retaliate, end up in jail, go to prison for doing what I did because of whatever it was, drugs, money, a girl. I would, for the most part, never do it and would really think twice about it and would just let it go. Because a lot of hood mentality stuff that I learned in life is like, you're a bitch if you don't do shit about it. You know, that prideful type, ego type shit. And like, I never really gave a damn about that when it came to the option of, okay, you could retaliate and beat this dude's ass and go to jail, or you could just let it go and he'll get what comes back to him in the form of karma someday. And that's just how I've always felt. Like, I've been down to fight, and I've been in a lot of fights when I was a kid in high school. And I've been in a lot of chaotic scenarios where it's like, best thing to do is just think ahead. You know, what ripples or actions is this going to cause? But when you're on drugs, when you're not in the right state of mind because of them, it's hard to do that. And it highly influences you, causes you to not do things in the right manner. And you will do a lot of things just to get whatever it is that you're addicted to. Alcohol, cigarettes, pain pills, drugs. You know, I never was really that bad to where like I stole stuff, pawned stuff to get it. But in the same instance, like I always had availability from people around me, and I would always be working whenever I did want it. It's hard though, you know, when you become addicted to something that was initially prescribed to you. Like that was my thing with pain pills, my teeth. After I got out of high school, out of the army, didn't really care about being athletic, being in shape, working out all the time. My teeth just started degrading and I would be in pain a lot of the times. So, you know, go to the hospital, get some pain pills. They last 2-3 days and now it's like, oh shit, I'm in pain again. What can I do? You know. And then they started cracking down on the fact of not prescribing anybody with tooth pain or to a certain level and you just couldn't get anything. So, it became like trying to find it from a certain individual, which I won't say, but she was just willing to give it to me all the time. And so I never really had an issue with having to go and find a drug dealer that sold pain pills, you know. And I'm glad when my son was born, that's when I stopped. I told her, you got to stop. I was able, willing, and just understood that I wasn't doing any good to myself or the people around me by being on them all the time. What made you stop?
You.
Me.
And Dustin.
And our son, Destin. Yeah, it's a chaotic scenario. I don't know how much you want to go into when we met. She was not in a good position in life. And I wasn't in the best, but I was in a better position. I was working my butt off, trying to get my son back. He was in foster care for 3 years from being taken from my ex. Won't go into what happened with that. But I had to jump through a lot of hoops. Like, more so than I've heard a lot of people have had to go through. And it's due to certain accusations and BS that got brought up, which no human should ever have to go through that has never done a damn thing to my son in a negative aspect to hurt him or do any harm. Love that kid to death. But because of it, it put us in a situation to where I wasn't really wanting or able to date at the time. And she needed help. And so at first you can move in with me. I'll help you. We'll see where it goes. But I'm doing what I got to do. And if you're willing to not do what you do and cut it off and step up to the plate and be what this kid needs in his life, then I'm willing to help you, and we'll get you to a point to where, okay, in a month, we'll see what's up. If you move out, you end up doing your own thing, and then we stay together, cool. If you just stay with me and it ends up working even better, great. And I've seen a couple people go through with trying to get sober in life, and it affected her. It definitely did. I don't know if you want to explain how you felt. Going through with like withdrawals.
Like shit.
Yeah. Like dying.
Yes.
Like physically, emotionally, mentally, all of the above.
All the above.
All the above. Me, like looking from the outside, I could tell it was bugging her. But comparatively to how I've seen other people deal with it, she did really well. And ever since, she's never had one relapse. She's never had a moment where she's like, I've had to convince her not to do it and talk her out of doing it. There have been a couple scenarios where I can tell is like in the back of her head, worst case scenario, fuck it, but she never has. And that is crazy to me because a lot of people that I've seen go through it, get through it, don't. And I really do appreciate her, and she is very strong-willed. And I love her because of it.
They love you.
And then you guys can do it too. Like, really. I mean, I don't know what it is you're dealing with. I don't know what you're going through.
And my furball. Where's my furball?
You can do it. You got to find something you love, something that causes you to remember what it felt like before you did whatever it is that you're doing. That's a big thing for me, because, and you can smoke weed and quit whatever it is you're doing. If it's weed that's got you addicted and you're doing a lot of stupid stuff because of weed and you just don't think in the right frame of mind, then that's one thing. But if you're like an alcoholic and you need something to cut the edge off from time to time, weed is really good for that. I know a lot of people out there that can't smoke weed. They're either allergic to it, it causes them to be paranoid, they get stupid and just don't think right. Whatever it is. But you can also drink once in a while.
No.
No.
That was the thing with her. It was Coke and it was drinking. And drinking is nothing to us. Like, I gave her that option because she wanted to cut everything off cold turkey, nothing except weed. And I said, I don't see why we can't drink once in a while before when you became an alcoholic. And it has worked to where we don't drink. I think over the last 3 years,
Hi. Do you want to get up here, Mommy?
since she's became sober, we've drank maybe 3 times?
Come here.
What would you say?
A couple of times, yeah.
Like 3 times?
3, 4 times.
And then even when we've drank, like, we cut ourselves off because we just don't like how it makes us feel now.
There you go. Now you're part of it.
So yeah, you guys can do it. If you need help, hit us up, message us, ask us questions, hit in the comments, tell us what you're going through.
See, I have a big help too.
And we got a dog named V right here, like V for Vendetta. That can be your support doggy also. You can say, hey, good job, good job. And so the last segment I wanted to go through is
Mommy's gonna make cookies once we're done, okay?
Will Smith has a new song called Beautiful Stars.
You're naked right there.
And in this song,
Hi.
he does something that I have not seen or heard anybody else talk about or even suggest doing besides myself. And I have it in a song. It's called Breaking the Infinity. And in the song I say, which one would you choose, yo, the red one or the blue one? I choose both, then I quote. And if you watch the video from Will Smith and Big Sean, in the very beginning, Big Sean's giving him an option like Morpheus, red pill, blue pill. Will Smith takes both. It's pretty cool. He's taking my concept and decided to expand on it. And also with the video, he does it with the Matrix to my video I did to the Matrix. I just found it really interesting. If you haven't heard the song, it's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's good. I get the concept and where he was going with it, and I really like it. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not trying to get any type of anything from it. In the same instance, like some type of credit to see where you get that concept from, yo. Because that just didn't come out of nowhere, did it? And if it did, then we think alike. Maybe we should do something. But much love. This is Life is Chaotic. Be sure to tune in next time. I know this episode was a little late, so a lot of y'all are probably going to catch it the next day. I do appreciate you if you decide to watch it all the way through. Be sure to like, share, comment. Many things we went through in this segment. Let me know what you think about this podcast. If you think I'm doing good or if you think it's horrible and I should just stop. I'm always willing to accept criticism and input. Appreciate y'all. Much love. Thank you for being a part of this episode. Peace out. Say bye.
Bye, guys.